Hey, what up guys? Today I'll be doing another deck profile for Felgrand. So this deck, it just never stops improving and there's always good options to add another archetype or any new support you want to. Like for example, the Chaos Impact, they have new level 8 monsters that can be used for Blue Eyes, or you can use this for Felgrand. So I added those into this deck and some few supports that works for this deck. This deck has 18 monsters, 20 spells, and 2 traps. And I will also show you guys extra deck and side deck as well. Alright, to start off with the Felgrand. He is the boss monster of this deck. So basically you can special summon him from the graveyard, and if he does, you can target one monster your opponent controls on the field or in their graveyard. I can banish it, and if you do, increases its attack equal its level multiplied by 100. So if you banish level 10, it increases by 1000. So he will be 38. Also, if you destroy a monsters by battle, you can special summon level 7 or 8 dragon type monster from their graveyard, from your graveyard, except its own. So it's a really good effect, as well as it has a really strong beat stick. So I recommend you guys to have 3 copies, and it's a good start to have 3 copies when you wanted to begin building this deck, or you wanted just 2 copies just because you added a different archetype. That's up to you. And next is Archbrave Dragon. So I like this dragon because it allows me to special summon during the standby phase after this card sent to a graveyard. So I can special summon any level 7 or 8 dragon type monster from my graveyard except its own. So if I send him and this guy into the graveyard during the standby phase, I can special summon Felgrand from the graveyard and I can trigger its effect. And you can also special summon him by any other card effect, and you can trigger its effect, which is I can banish any opponent's face-up spells and trap card, like field spell, continuous spells and traps. I can banish them, and it increases 200 by 200 for each banished card for defense and attack. So it's a really good, and it has a good beat 2400 beat stick even without banishing them. So I recommend to have 3 copies if you want to have a strategy to send them to the graveyard. The next thing is Paladin of Felgrand. I can never let this guy go because he has not just allows me to special summon effect, which is you have to tribute a 1 monster and this card to trigger its effect, basically special summon from the 1 monster, level 7 or 8 dragon type monster from the graveyard, but also it's unaffected by monster effects while equipped to this, equipped with level 7 or 8 dragon type monster. So basically that's what it does. So if this guy is normal or special summon, I can equip level 7 or 8 dragon type monster from my hand or deck. So it's a really good card, and it's not once per turn. If you have, or you have ways to special summon him or summon him multiple ways in 1 turn, you could just bring out dragon type monster as much as you want, as long as you meet the requirements. So now this card is a new support that I mentioned. Well, actually one of the supports, Galactic Spiral Dragon. So basically this card is, while this card is in your graveyard or hand, and if you control 2 or more light and or dark dragon monsters, you can special summon him. Like I said, from the graveyard or hand in defense position, but you have to banish it when he leaves the field. During your main phase, you can make all monsters you currently control become level 8 until the end of this turn. So this is a really good card. If you have, let's say, level 4, something that are not level 8, you can basically make those monsters level 8, so you can overlay, you can do link summon, or you can do synchro, whatever. So basically he has a good support for level 8 deck, like for example Blue Eyes, and specifically for Felgrand. So I recommend you guys have at least 2 copies. 1 copy is not too bad, but just like I said, it just depends on how you want to play it and how you often play this deck card. So, but I recommend you guys have this in the deck. Our next new support is Nebula Dragon. I really like this card. So basically what it does is you can reveal this card and 1 other level 8 dragon type monster in my hand and special summon both of them in defense position, but their effects are negated. So that's the only downside about that, but that's a good thing because you can either link summon, or you can overlay, so you have the advantage of that. So that's the good thing about that. So you have free special summoning. Also, you can banish this card and target one level 4 light or dark dragon monster in your graveyard, add it to the hand. So which is a really good card to if you have a dragon level 4 or light or dark monster. So it's a really good search effect. Which I mentioned earlier about the Nebula Dragon. It allows me to search level 4 light or dark dragon monster. So these guys are a really good example. Black Dragon, Collapsed Serpent, and White Dragon, Wyvern Buster. So basically you have to special summon them by banishing either light or dark. In this case, I had to banish light monster from my graveyard, him dark monster. So they kind of support each other, but basically it has another effect. So if either one of them, or if I send this guy to the front field to the graveyard, I can search him, or he can search him if this guy sent to the graveyard. So they kind of support each other, like I said, but they are really good support, and he has a pretty decent beat stick, even though they are lower than 2000, but they are really good for overlay, link summon, so it gives you almost a free special summoning. And the last 3 support cards for this deck is Galaxy Eye Photon Dragon, Malefic Stardust Dragon, and Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. So he is not bad. Well, first he's a level 8 and light dragon type monster. I don't really use this effect as much, except during a battle maybe, but I really want him just because you know, it's level 8, it's good for just summoning. When it comes to summoning, I could just bring him out strong 3000 beat stick, yada yada. But basically he's a really good beat stick. Malefic Stardust Dragon, it allows me to special summon, but he can only be special summoned by banishing the extra deck monster, which is a let me show you, Stardust Dragon. And then I can banish, I have to banish him and then special summon him from my hand. Also, he cannot be destroyed. No, I think the face-up field spell cannot be destroyed by a card effect if I control Malefic Stardust Dragon, and he can only be controlled on the field, basically. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon is basically the same thing was you guys been playing before. Special summon any dragon type monster from your hand or deck once per turn. So I like him, and it is good that he's still limited. You will be OP if you have him like 3 copies or whatnot, but basically it's still good enough for him as it is. Now moving on to spell cards. So the first thing is Dragon Ravine. You gotta need to have this card for this deck. Specifically, you want to send your dragon type monster to the graveyard. Arc Brave, for example. So basically, I discard 1 card and send dragon type monster from my deck to the graveyard. So it's a good effect. And if you focus on Dragunity, then you can use this other card effect. Basically, you can add level 4 lower Dragunity monster from your deck to your hand. But like I said, downside is you can be negated by Ash or any other similar effect like that. So just be careful with that. The next thing is Return of the Dragon Lords. So because you have level 7 or 8 dragon type monsters in my deck, I need to have 3 copies no matter what. And this is basically Monster Reborn for dragon type monster. And also another effect is if my dragon type monster will be destroyed by battle or card effect, I can banish this instead from my graveyard instead. So it's a really good card to special summoning and protection mechanics. So I recommend you guys to have 3 copies for this deck. It's not that expensive anymore since that there's some copies came out, so you guys, or I'm sorry, reprint. So you guys can afford this card in a newer version or older version, however you like. The next thing is Ruins of the Divine Dragon Lords. So I think this card's still good as far as when your opponent has an effect during the special summon from the hand or deck. So basically this card is also good for when I summon a Paladin or Felgrand, I can use this effect, basically special summon a token, and then I could use Paladin or Felgrand's effect, tribute a token, and this card, that card to special summon Felgrand or Archbrave or whatnot. But also what I said earlier is that when a monster is special summoned, except from the graveyard, the turn that they special summon, they cannot use their effects for that turn. So that's something that I wanted to have for this deck, is just protect against any monster effect, except anything from the graveyard. So yeah, I wanted to have that kind of protection against that kind of thing. Also, you can actually add this from my graveyard, if this is in the graveyard, by sending level 7 or 8 Dragon type monster from my hand or field to the graveyard. So it's a really good combo if you want to try to send Archbrave to the graveyard, and then you already have Felgrand and any other level 7 or 8 Dragon type monster in the graveyard. The next two cards are Trade-In and Card of Demise. I have 3 copies each. Like I said, I actually focus this on draw engines, but at the same time it still works. Well, one is I can draw up to 3 cards if I only have nothing, but depending on the number of cards in my hand. So, but I have to send the rest to the graveyard during the end phase. But your opponents don't take any battle damage the turn I activate this. Well, for the rest of the turn after I activate this card effect. But it's really good for drawing, and if you have additional cards you want to draw and then use the effect, just to make a little bit of meta. But at the same time, you want to make some combos. So it's a good idea if you draw Archbrave and then send it to the graveyard. This is a good chance to do so. Trade-In, same thing, but except you just draw 2 cards by just guard level 8 Dragon type monster or just any level 8 monster to the graveyard. But that's really good. It allows me to draw 2 cards and up to 3 cards for this card effects. And some other supports for this deck is Terraforming, search for Dragon Ravine, Rhoda, search for my Paladin of Felgrand, and Foliage Burial allows me to send any monster from deck to the graveyard, like Archbrave, Galaxy Eye, whoever, whatever. So you can just send those to the graveyard. And the last 2 cards are Twin Twisters and Monster Reborn. So discard 1 card, destroy up to 2 spells and traps on the field. Sorry about that. And Monster Reborn, like I said, special summon any monster from either graveyards. So it's a really good card. And the last 2 cards, or just this type of card, is Back to the Front. So I like this card. It's another special summon mechanic in this deck. It's just special summon any monster from a graveyard in defense position. So it's a really good card effect to go against during the battle phase. Like if I have no monster being direct attack, I can just special summon from the graveyard. Or like say if you have Archbrave or Felgrand, I could just special summon them and trigger their effect. So you just kind of have that chain, so you could just banish that attacking monster or banishing any spells and traps on the field or whatever. So making that combo possible during their turn. You can do this during your turn as well, but this is just to say that you can make some combos for this deck. So for the extra deck, just like really quick, so it's not going to be too difficult, so you can just look it up on yourself. So number 46, number 62, number 68, number 97, Galaxy Eye Cypher Blade Dragon, Galaxy Eye's Full Armor Photon Dragon, Deco Tucker, like always. I don't know why, but it just depends on the situation. Galaxy Eye Soul Flare Dragon, I like this card. Guard Dragon, a Guard Paint, it's okay, I guess. Topologic, can't read that. Topologic Trisbina, yeah, it's a really good card, especially if you're building a casual level. I do have a Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spears. It's a really good card as well. For reflection. I don't have the copy yet. That Link monster that allows me to search a Dragon Ravine. I forgot what the monster called, but it's a Dragon type monster. It's a Dragonity monster. It basically allows me to search Dragon Ravine from my deck. So I'm trying to get that soon. So for the new update, I will do that. And the last thing is Stardust Dragon, and I have another copy. And I put Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon. I will explain that on the side deck. For the side deck, I just have 2 DD Crow. Whoops, not on here. So I put 2 DD Crows, Ghost Bell, Ash Blossom if you want to. I put 2 copies of Amorphage Goliath. It's a good card. And I put 1 Soul Drain Dragon. I mean, this is just case by case, but I don't really put this into the deck that often. So if you want to try it, go for it. Cosmic Cyclone, 2 copies is good. I have 3 is good. Call by the Grave. If you want to put another one, I don't care. And the last thing is extra foliage burial. That's the reason that I have Blue Eyes into my extra deck. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, like the button and subscribe if you haven't. Also, don't forget, give me some suggestion if you have a better idea how to make this deck work. I'm sure you guys have been suggesting the cards that I haven't really put this in deck yet. So yeah, please let me know so I can probably consider and then try to build on it. There is one card that I want to put in this deck that is from the Chaos Impact, but it's extremely expensive, and you probably know what I'm talking about. But I will consider that on the list. But other than that, I will make this deck work based on your suggestions. If you want to make this casual, competitive, however you like. So, you know, I still love this deck no matter what. So if you have better suggestion, please comment down below. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I might come back for the before holiday, or probably upload during the holiday. So I will keep you posted on Twitter or Instagram. So yeah, please just follow me on those social media. And yeah, thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time.